I've made a fair amount of bread making and selling dark trap beats, and I'm heavily inspired by METRO BOOMIN's style of production in this vibe. So today I want to share my workflow and methods for making these kinds of instrumentals. I'll be working mainly from my 16 drum kit and using the centerfold drum kit, which you can get solo or within the $1,000 is achievable for any producer who tries full bundle. You can also access the FLP to this project by becoming a channel member, and when you do become a member, you'll also get access to the private Discord, lessons, and a whole bunch more. Alright, so first and most important is chord progression. So I'm gonna begin actually in FL keys so that I can kind of show you what the actual chord progression I'm gonna be using sounds like, and then we can move stuff to different sounds. So what I'm gonna do is build this in B minor. So basic minor chord, then we can duplicate that over and then suspend that 3 to the 2. Then we can duplicate that over and just move this up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we can voice some of the notes, which is basically just voicing these root notes up and then these ones down to kind of make it a more like cohesive chord progression overall. Super tough, honestly, and that's pretty much it. We're going to use that as the foundation for everything else that we're going to be doing. So I'm going to just cut that from FL keys now, paste it into a sampler, go into repro, and I'm going to go to one of my favorite pads, which is this dark chocolate pad. Sounds so freaking good. Fire, absolutely fire. And I'm just going to copy this and paste it into repro. And I love to render to audio. For the one person who's about to ask why, bro, I just like doing it, bro. Don't overthink it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. There's no scientific reason. There's no nerdy reason. I just like doing it. There's always that one guy who's like, what's the, they type like a paragraph to ask me, what's the technical reason behind rendering it, bro? There is no technical reason. I just like doing it. But right, so that's the foundation of our melody so far. And then from there, what I like to do on top of like really dope pad melodies is arpeggiate the chord progression, kind of. Really, I'm just trying to build a really dope motif on top of it. So I'll go pick like an interesting bell sound from repro, and I'll use the chord progression to build a motif or an arpeggio on top of this. That's tough. Now I just want to change the sound. I'm less in love with it than I was when I started, so let's see. I like that a lot. And then boom, we just export that. Beautiful. Drag that in. And from here, I feel like I want to save. But after that, I think I want to layer it back with some kind of like chord or like some kind of key sound, but still playing the chords more or less. And I might like strum it a little bit. So I'm going to come back into repro. I'm going to duplicate the sampler, cut that, paste the MIDI for the ARP in just in case I want it later. Then I'm going to take the MIDI from the sampler, paste it back into repro, and then go to the keys bank and see if I can find something dope. That's actually hard, and I'm gonna just strum it. Let's see how much I want to strum it. Let's see if we can play with the sound design a little bit, turn the release down. That's very hard. Drag that in. Now, really, we only need a couple more things. In terms of melody, probably just a lead line, and then that'll be it. So let's come back into our melody MIDI, duplicate, cut the strum chords, paste it in. You know how it goes. Then let's find another dope lead sound, or maybe we can use a bell. Let's see. Yeah. That is actually stupidly hard, bro. All right, cool. So that's kind of like our lead sound. It's kind of just like that main motif on top of all the other textures and stuff like that. And so now I'm gonna rename everything so we kind of like know what everything is. And so something that I've peeped that Metro does in like a lot of his most dope tracks, like I noticed this specifically in Space Cadet though, is that he'll like take the overall like melody composition that he has and he'll like render it and then reverse it for like a bridge section of the melody, and it sounds super dope. Like if you've ever heard Space Cadet and there's like that part where the melody reverses, he literally just took the melody, like all of the melodies, and reversed it. It's actually super sick. So that's what I'm about to do right now. I'm about to have that whole section highlighted the way it actually already is, select that to arm it to record, and then I'm gonna hit Option plus R, or it will be Alt plus R if you're a plebeian and you use a Windows computer. And then I'm gonna render that. Sip the coffee. There we go. And then I'm gonna make it unique so that I can reverse just those 8 bars, and then we're gonna reverse it. Shit, so hard, bro. Really, lastly, we just need bass, and so I'm gonna make 2 different ones. I'm gonna make one for like the main progression of the melody, then I'm gonna make a different one for like when it reverses. So we can just keep using, in my template I have like separate patterns for bass, but since I've just been using this melody MIDI pattern, we'll just work it off of that. Come into repro, duplicate the sampler, you know how it goes. Second verse, same as the first, and then we'll come into repro, go to bass. And one of my favorites for doing these Metro type beats, like the deep dark kind of vibe that he goes for, is this OVO style sub. So if you have repro, bro, this sub is actually cracked, absolutely. And then the sauce is to turn on the soft clip and like increase the amount. So it already sounds really dope, but if you do that, it just sounds even more dope. And then you can just EQ out some of that top end with like an equalizer when you bring it into the mixer. And then I like to also bring the sonic conditioner up to like its 0 point. And then I play with the volume using this amount. So usually I'll turn it down. Something like that is probably fine. And then yeah, let's just make our bass line. All right, cool. So that's like the first bass. And then for this bridge section, we'll do something different. That's tough. I like that. And then just export that. I can bring all of these melodies into individual mixer tracks. Then I'm just going to route all of them into another like mixer track. And then before I even get into leveling them, I'm going to go to the 16 drum kit, which is free. Get that mug. And I'm going to go to the presets folder, go to melody, go to effects racks, and drag this cathedral preset onto the melody composite track and then rename it. I can also like recolor everything. And then we can bring both bass tracks into one individual track and we can begin to like level everything. That shit is clean, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then lastly, bro,
drums.
To take the drums.
The drums. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. You hear me? Nothing, bro. Nothing. I don't care.
It's all about the drums.
The drums, bro. Don't fuck up the drums. You can do everything but fuck up. Just don't fuck up the drums.
Now for like leveling, which is pretty much the only mixing we need to do make sure you have that soft clipper on, which for me, it's been there since the beginning because my template is just set up that way, bro. Templates are cracked, bro. Use them, make them for yourself. Do it. It's helpful. Bro, you know what I forgot, brother? A kick. I'm gonna use it as like a spicy little accent. So I'm only gonna have it hit in a few spots. Level that really just in relationship to my 808 real quick. Break up all the drums, bring everything in, something like that. And we can basically just duplicate over this simple melody arrangement. For the drop, I want there to be not so many sounds. So maybe not so many snare rolls until like that last bar of the first 8 bars. And then maybe it drops into like one more section of just like super hard drums. Let's remove that EQ when there's no bass through simple automation. Boom. Copy the format and then paste it into this one. Perfect. And we just duplicate that over. And let's see, somewhere around like 2 minutes, like right around here, we can say the beat is over. Really just around here. I don't want it to be like too long. Create another automation clip for the master volume. Boom. Cut the rest of this stuff. All right. And then I'm just gonna grab the tag real quick. Bro, and that's really the whole beat. That's really the whole beat.
Pikachu, use Thunderbolt!
So yep, that's it. I hope you learned a lot from the workflow. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comment section. Do all the things for the algorithm like liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.